Change the position of the block to the lowest height here at the back of your mat, and then have a seat on it. So I'm going to show you this from the side to start, and then I'll turn and face you. So if it feels comfortable to cross your legs in front of you, do that. For some people, this position does not feel good on the hips. So if that's you, you could take your legs out straight in front of you, or you could put your feet on your mat and just have a bend in your knees. And you can place your hands on your legs anywhere, your thighs, your knees, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then just stay where you are. We'll do this together. Round your shoulders forward. So when you round your shoulders forward, take a few breaths here and see if you could notice how your breath cycle is a little bit compromised, right? You can't breathe in as deeply as usual. For the next breath, just notice how deep your inhale is, and we're going to compare that to a more neutral spine. Now lift your rib cage from your abdomen, bring your shoulders back so you notice how you sit a little bit more upright. And then take a deep breath in here, and as you breathe in deep here, see how that compares to your first breaths, right? Is it a little bit more deep on the inhale? And is it a little bit more long on the exhale? I'll do 2 more breaths just to help you feel a little settled in your space. Notice if your mind is wandering, and can you redirect it right back to this present moment. Take 1 more breath in and 1 more long breath out. Now just try to return to a natural breathing pattern or rhythm, right? Without trying to change it or make it deep or control it in any way. And then lift both of your arms up towards your ceiling. Hold on to your left wrist with your right hand. Pull your left arm up, right? So before you side stretch, just notice how the left arm feels like it grows, gets a little bit longer, and then reach over towards the right. And then come back to center and release your left wrist. Take this intentionally, right? Hold on to your right wrist with your left hand. Reach up first, and then over towards the left. Beautiful. Come back to center. Once you come back to center, release your right wrist with your left hand. Both arms just reach up towards the sky. Breathe in. See if you could sit a little bit taller on your inhale. And when you exhale, rotate to the right. Take your left hand to your right leg, right hand behind you. This doesn't need to be the deepest twist ever. Just feel it. Lift both of your arms up towards the sky. And on your next exhale, twist to the left. And when you twist towards the left, again, not the deepest twist. We're just trying to feel this rotation in your upper body. Lift both of your arms up towards your ceiling. Hold on to your left wrist. Reach up first and then over to the right. We're going to add on to this movement, okay? Come back to center, switch, hold on to your right wrist. First, reach your right fingers up towards the sky and then over towards the left. Breathe in, come back to center. Release your right wrist. When you exhale, twist right. Inhale, turn forward, lift your arms up. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, turn forward, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Listen, think about a cat stretch here. Just round your shoulders forward and sweep your arms forward. Think of your arms being parallel with your lap or with your floor. And then lift your arms back up towards the ceiling. Sit with a neutral spine. We're going to go through that one more time. Hold on to your left wrist. Reach your arm up and then reach right. So a side stretch on the left side. Come back to center. Switch. Hold your right wrist. Reach up and reach left. Come back to center. Breathe in. Exhale. Twist right. Try to sync your movements with your breath, okay? Breathe in. Lift your arms up. Turn forward. Exhale. Twist left. Breathe in. Turn forward. Lift your arms up. Cat stretch. Round your shoulders forward. Just press your palms towards your mat. And then lift your arms back up. Sit up tall. Open your arms out. Stay right here. Just flip your palms towards the ceiling. Notice if you shrug your shoulders towards your ears, try to relax your shoulders. Stay right here. Hold your arms out for 3. Hold your arms out for 2. And last 1, take your arms down by your sides. Resist the urge to shake your arms out. Just notice how they feel. We're going to lift yourself up from your block. If you were seated on a block, you can just place it off the side of your mat. And then we'll come forward and meet on your hands and your knees. So either sweep your legs around and behind you or just roll over your crossed shins. And as you come onto your hands and your knees, you can wag your hips side to side. Circle your torso in one direction, one big circle or 2 big circles in this direction. And then change the direction of your circle. If you're going clockwise, just switch it, go counterclockwise, right? 2 big circles. Nice, we'll come back to center. Create a back bend. So lift your tailbone, lift your chin, just look up towards the ceiling. Stay right here, hold this, close your jaw. See if you feel a stretch on the front of your neck. And then come back to a neutral spine. When you come back to a neutral spine, keep your knees right where they are. Just push your hips back towards your heels. Lower your chest towards your thighs. Stay here with your hands forward and see if you feel a stretch around the middle of your back and wrap up underneath your arms. Lift your hips forward. Stay right here. Do the back bend again. Lift your tailbone. Lift your gaze. Look up. Breathe in. When you exhale, come out of the back bend. Push your hips back towards your heels. Lower your chest towards your legs. See what you feel around the middle of your back. Lift your hips and come forward. All right. Straighten your left leg towards the back of your mat. We're going to keep your left leg straight and kind of circle it around towards the left side of your room. If you feel a cramp on the outside of your hip, just bend your knee and wiggle your hips. Like sometimes I feel that cramp here, so just wiggle it out, right? Think about your left ankle in line with your hip. So if your foot is behind your hip, try to walk it forward a little bit more, right? Once you walk your foot forward, push your hips back towards your right heel. So you could go all the way back or you could push back halfway. Halfway feels just as nice. See what you feel on the inside of your left thigh. Maybe a little stretch, right? And then shift forward back onto your hands, back onto your right knee. Keep your left foot where it is. We're going to go back 2 more times. So push your hips back, either halfway a little bit or all the way. And then shift your hips forward. We'll do it one more time. Push your hips back. And shift your hips forward. All right, so maybe you felt that on the inside of your left thigh, right? We're gonna keep your left leg straight, but circle it towards the back of your mat, right? Your left leg stays straight the whole time. We're just gonna cross it over your right leg. So it feels like your left foot is off the right side of your mat, okay? Look over your right shoulder towards the back of your mat. Maybe you could peek at your left big toe and see if you feel a side stretch on the left side of your body. All right, and then come back to center. Sweep your left foot back onto your mat. Bend your left knee. Lower your knee down towards your mat. All right, back bend. Lift your tailbone, lift your chin, look up. Come out of the back bend. Push your hips back towards both of your heels. Lower your chest. And lift yourself back up. Once you lift yourself back up, we're going to straighten your right leg towards the back of your mat. And same thing, just circle your right foot off the right side of your mat. Again, try to walk your foot up in line with your hip. And wiggle your hips if you need to. All right, keep your right foot where it is. Begin to press your hips back. See what you feel on the inside of your right thigh. And then shift forward with your hips. Let's do that 2 more times. Push your hips back and down. Shift your hips forward. One more time, push back. Maybe all the way, maybe halfway. And shift forward. Once you shift forward, we're going to circle your right foot to the back of your mat. Keep your right toes down. Just cross your right leg over your left. Right, so it's just a sweep over towards the left. Look over your left shoulder. Could you see your right big toe behind you? Do you feel a stretch on the right side of your waist? Take your time. Come out of this. Sweep your right foot back onto your mat. Bend your right knee and lower your right knee down to your mat. One more back bend. Lift your tailbone. Lift your chin. Look up. Keep your mouth closed. Come out of the back bend. Push your hips back towards your heels. Lower your chest. All right, now shift forward. Once you shift forward, stay on your hands and your knees. We're going to take a big cat stretch now. So tuck your tailbone, push into your hands a whole lot. Let your head dangle in between your arms. Notice if you hold tension in your neck, could you be loose? Maybe shake your head back and forth, side to side. All right, and then uncurl from that cat stretch. Once you uncurl from the cat stretch, walk your knees forward. We're going to have a seat at the center of your mat. So bring your legs around and in front of you. And then we'll take your feet together to touch at the center of your mat and open your knees apart. Once you open your knees apart, I like to have my heels further away from me, even though I could bring them close. So take your heels a little bit further away from you. Hands to your shins or to your ankles, and lower your chest between your legs towards your mat. Stay here a couple breaths. And while you breathe, be more intentional about your breathing here. Deeper breaths in, longer breaths out. Last breath. Take your time, slow, lift your chest, come back up to a seat. You can take your hands outside your knees and close your knees together. And we'll use your blanket for this. So bring your blanket. It should be folded in the shape of a rectangle. If you're using a bolster instead of a blanket, if you have a bolster at home, bring it. Bolsters are really nice. We're going to take your prop behind you, right, close to your bottom. But you can have a little bit of space between your bottom and your prop. And then lie down. Once you lie down, the back of your head rests on your blanket or on your bolster. You'll have a bend in your knees. And just rest your knees against one another. Walk your feet a little bit further apart. And then open your arms towards opposite sides of your room. And flip your palms towards the ceiling. Just let your fingers curl so your palms are soft. And with your blanket or your bolster underneath you, notice how it pushes you into a gentle low back bend. And with your arms rested towards the sides of your room, and still with a blanket underneath you, you might feel a little bit of opening across your chest. Just let yourself kind of settle into that feeling of openness across your chest and take a deep breath in. Try to fill up your belly and breathe out. Another deep breath in and breath out. You're going to lift both of your arms up towards the ceiling. Face your palms towards one another and interlace your fingers. So bring your palms together to touch. Lace your fingers with one another. We're going to use your left hand to pull your right arm across your chest. So bend your left elbow towards the left side of your space. Your arms will just, or your left elbow will just lower towards your floor. And see what you feel on the back of the right shoulder or on the outside of the right shoulder. Lift both of your arms back up towards the ceiling. Now we'll bend your right elbow towards the right side of your room. And when you bend your right elbow, your right hand pulls your left arm across your chest. Yeah. Bring both of your arms back up towards the ceiling. So this will be different for everybody, this feeling. We're going to take your thumbs and your first fingers kind of together to touch. So you either have a triangle or a diamond shape between your hands, right? Bend your elbows out towards opposite sides of the room and take your hands over your head. So this might feel extreme. It might feel like too much, like a big stretch. And if it feels like too much for you, separate your hands. Bring your elbows down by your sides a little more so you have space between your hands overhead. Right? Stay where you are so you're either lying down here or lying down like here, right? Keep your arms just like they are. You're welcome to keep your legs in the position that they're in now, or you can walk your feet together to touch and open your knees apart from one another. Once you open your knees apart from one another, see how this feels for you. For some, it might be an inner thigh stretch. For others, it might be a lot of work on your hips, right, to keep your knees open. So just notice how you feel with this leg variation. And you are welcome to stay here or close your knees again or straighten your legs forward. Try to take the deepest breath in and the longest breath out. Again, deep as you breathe in, lengthy as you breathe out. One more time. Breathe in as much as you can take air in. Continue to breathe in. And then exhale all of the air out. And when you get to the end of your exhale, try to push a little bit more air out. If your legs are straight, bend your knees, walk your feet towards you. If your knees are open, close your knees together. Turn your knees to one side. It doesn't matter which side you turn to, just roll off of your blanket, push yourself up to a seat. Once you come up to a seat, you can sit in front of your blanket if you like. If you prefer to have a seat on top of your blanket, you could take this variation, right? Either cross your legs or have your legs out straight if that feels better on your hips. Place your hands on your thighs. Round your shoulders forward, just like we started class. Imagine the C curve in your spine. Imagine space in your lower back. And then slow pull your shoulders back. Come back to a neutral spine. Pause here. Place your palms together to touch in front of your heart. You can either close your eyes or soften your gaze towards your fingers. We'll seal our time together with one breath. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. The teacher in me acknowledges and bows to the teacher in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for this 20-minute class. It was full body. I hope that you were able to feel it in your body. So like this video, share it with someone, subscribe so that you know when I upload another class. I upload them quite frequently. And again, I'm so glad to have you here. My name is Monica, and it's always nice to practice with you. I'm going to add another class here that I think that you would enjoy. So again, feel good and keep moving.